Are you scared of this or this? Unless you've been attacked, no, because it's a dog. Are you afraid of this or this? No, because it's just a cat. So why do you fear this? Who told you that this was a bad thing? Wow, this is beautiful. Who would fear this beautiful flower? This is belladonna. You will fucking die. Wow, look at how beautiful this is. Why do you think that's beautiful? Who told you that? I think it's beautiful too. Grows our food, keeps us warm. You know what else it does? It blinds you and burns you. So why are you okay with this, but fear this? Is it because you can't see? Are you afraid you'll get lost? You know what else comes with this? Peace and quiet. Do you know how many organisms would die without this? Who taught you that this was bad? You cannot have one without the other, and neither one is innately bad or innately good. Let's talk about mirrors and locking them. You will probably literally never need to lock a mirror in your entire life. Just FYI. The only mirrors that actually have the potential to allow things to come through or be haunted or whatever are silver or silver mercury backed mirrors. So most houses don't have them. You usually have to go out and purchase them. So the mirrors in your house you don't have to worry about. I actually have a silver backed mirror on purpose for working with the other side. And that's not smear marks or dirt. They just age differently. That's why they look that way. You cannot lock an obsidian mirror. Obsidian is used for scrying. I have been looking for a legitimate large obsidian mirror for 20 years now. If you're not advanced, don't even own an obsidian mirror. To lock a mirror, you write on it. Prayers, mantra, runes. If that fails, there are advanced techniques that I don't. You'll often hear people say, witchcraft isn't real. That's mainly because they view witches as something Disney created or in a child's storybook. But the truth is, witchcraft, white, black, or gray, is grounded in knowledge. We don't grab crystals for some magic made-up reason. We don't use them because we have a feeling it might work. The majority of witchcraft is based in quantum physics and vibration string theory. It's just now it has fancy names like quantum and string theory. But we use the same energy and vibration techniques that possessed in all ancient knowledge. Remember, people thought destiny was fake until Einstein proved it with quantum entanglement theory. The rest of it is various medicinal effects gathered from plants and animals. A little bit of alchemy, and you get witchcraft. It's a lifelong skill, and it requires a lot of knowledge that very few people possess. Now, let me tell you why. So you'll see this in Sanse y Spiritismo. There's another type of iconography in Santeria, in some types of voodoo or in Vodun over here, like this and this. And of course our holy death, La Santa Muerta. But none of these are based in Catholicism. They had to be hidden within Catholicism. Because when the Spaniards came, if you didn't convert, you died. So in order to keep their original religions and not die for it, they used Catholic iconography in place of their original iconography for their religious spirits and gods. And even though eventually Spain left, Catholicism did not, and so the iconography stayed. I'm going to use your comment because that is another notorious myth in the craft. So the universe as a whole is where there's a constant flowing back and forth to keep balance, not anything individual within that universe. For instance, a human being does not have to balance light and dark, positive and negative within themselves. Any human being. So it's not done on a per person or per item, per being basis. It's done as a whole by the universe.
Against someone's free will, that's considered black magic. Black magic.
I am so sick of hearing this bullshit over and over and over. I'm just trying to watch some funny videos before I go to bed, and this vomit has to come across my For You page. Number one, I don't even want to hear anybody come across here with black magic is a racist term. Okay, no. Keep your human societal problems out of witchcraft. I've went through this 1,000 times to the etymology of the thing. It does not refer to black folks magic. It does not refer to POC magic. Please understand that Christians felt that all magic was black magic. Why? Because they didn't even know what the fuck the term black magic is. And I got a booger. Can you handle that? 2. Last time I'm going to explain the difference between black and white magic. You potatoes! Okay, class, pay attention! Light, white, positive witchcraft is working with positively charged energy particles. Okay? Dark, black, negative witchcraft is dealing with negatively charged particles of energy. Okay. Do I need to do it again? Positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. Does that make this the good end of the battery? Does that make that the bad end of the battery? You see how stupid you sound now? This is higher pitched, quicker vibrational waves. And this is lower pitched, slower vibrational waves. Now, I'm going back to bed, and I don't want to hear nothing else about this shit, okay? Good night.
Oral sex to a man and wife is sin.
Okay, a lot of y'all asked me to weigh in on the born witch thing, and so here we go. So, can you be born a witch? No. Let me explain. Let's say Beethoven was your grandpa, and when you were growing up, your parents noticed that you really liked your Fisher-Price piano. In fact, you were so naturally good from your cellular memory and ancestry that you could play an entire opus by the age of 6. Because of classes? Nay, because you were self-taught. You're still not a born composer. You were self-taught. Okay? So you had a propensity for composing when you were born. But what if you chose not to do that? What if you chose to just play with your Star Wars toys and you never ended up composing an opus? Same with witchcraft. You can have witchcraft in your blood, but that does not make you a born witch. There's no such thing. You can be born with knowledge already that nobody taught you. You may be able to cast spells and retain, herbal knowledge extremely easily. That doesn't make you a born witch. Witchcraft comes from practice. Okay? You have to practice and learn. It's a skill that you hone. If you're born with witchcraft in your blood and you choose to take that path, things will be easier for you, but that does not make you better than someone who was not born with witchcraft in their blood. It just means it's easier for you. It doesn't make you more powerful. It doesn't make you better than. You would just be, like top of the class. But keep in mind, you can be top of the class in high school and be bottom of the barrel in college. Big problem is in this community is everybody wants to be special. I'm special. Odds are you are not special. So there you go. Love, peace, and chicken grease.
Family, what is this? What's going on with this? What is this?
Yeah, can y'all keep y'all's zombie Jesus and his made-up imaginary Mother Goose book out of the comments? You peasants! Look at the size of that fucking chin here. I gotta yank that shit out. What the fuck? These are called crepuscular rays. Do you know why? Because it's also called a fucking shadow. It's a shadow. Yeah, it's a shadow. Peasants. Pause to read. Here's one example Let me give you some more. Oh, a shadow. Oh my God, it's Jason. No, it's a shadow. Lord is looking down. No, it's a shadow. Let's talk about cedar trees and appropriation. So after I did my post explaining about white sage, cedar came up along with sweetgrass and tobacco. Today I'm just going to address cedar. So what we call cedars in North America are not actually cedars. They're in the juniper family, but that's just a FYI. So around me, this is what typically grows, the eastern red cedar. And cedars of some type are on every continent except for Antarctica. Using cedar is not cultural appropriation. No matter how far you go back on anyone's ancestry, all of us use cedar for medicinal reasons, for cleansing reasons, and for witchcraft or folk medicine reasons. That is not closed. That's not like white sage. You can use that. Sweetgrass and witchcraft. I came with my receipts on this one because a lot of Native Americans have a problem with white people using sweetgrass. The sweetgrass is native to the Americas. It is also native and used in Northern Eurasia. I know you're going to ask, these are the countries in Northern Eurasia.
There's countries in Northern Korea?
Not Northern Korea. I said Eurasia. Carrying on. Then white people been there like almost the whole time. So no, sweetgrass is not closed. In fact, most of y'all have a shit ton of sweetgrass all around you and you don't even know it. I use sweetgrass in healing spells, but it's also used to invite in positivity. Let's talk about tobacco. So tobacco is native to the Americas. This is all the different kinds that grow here. This is the species usually associated with Native American practices. This is the domestic species that does not grow wild, that's used in cigarettes and pipes and stuff. Since I don't know the full magnitude of how natives use tobacco, I only ever used this one for witchcraft. I use it in self-love spells for the properties of confidence and personal strength. I get organic tobacco. I don't use cigarette tobacco because it has like 400 poisons in each cigarette. Oh, let's talk about white sage. Again, yes, using white sage is appropriation. Yes, it's being poached off of native lands. But as a practitioner, there's one really important reason why you shouldn't use white sage. When you burn white sage, you are sending out a message to Native American ancestors. So let's imagine you're a chilling Native American ancestor and, oh, my people need me. And you find a pale face. The pale face that murdered you and your ancestors. Not going to be cleansing much there. Yeah. The first settlers of North America were European. So over the last 8 years, there's been continuous discoveries that Europeans were actually the first to inhabit North America. And this made white people very happy. And they make videos like this. And in the comments, they say stuff like, "See, we are native to here." Yes, the evidence does show that Europeans came to North America on the East Coast area first, around 20,000 years ago. And this is where education is important. And I mean self-education, you potatoes. Because there were no white people 20,000 years ago. Except for a light peppering of leftover Neanderthal crosses. Because white didn't show up until 8,000 years ago. Wasn't white people.
Listen to me, coffee is killing you. Let's look at what it does to the body. Coffee is in the 4 to 5 pH range, so it's a very acidic substance. When it first gets into your body, it's going to touch the thyroid gland and the parathyroid
Your thyroid glands are around your trachea. That's your windpipe. There's nothing touching it.
gland. These two are responsible for your heart rate and metabolism, but also your hair, bone, and nails. Then it's gonna go down to your kidneys and start burning those up. You're gonna start suffering from UTIs.
Science.
You're gonna start suffering from low back pain and stiffness. Then the caffeine whips your adrenal glands, which are responsible for your energy.
The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
And where your anxiety comes from.
I have never heard someone say so many wrong things, one after the other, consecutively in a row.
Okay, what is this, guys?
That's a lungfish, you peasants.
Birds' nests. Witchcraft. Birds' nests can be used in protection spells or used to represent the home in all working. In this working, I am causing disruption within the couple's home. Gather nests in fall or winter.
Dude, he's that. I don't know, it's like hot sauce or something, man. Wow, that is full of knives. Remove all evil forces that block in my brother's freedom.
I'm busy as fuck right now, but this is a good question. So once your herbs are dry, you can keep those things for years. But I'm going to tell you a good rule of thumb that I go by, and that's the scent, okay? So no matter how long, or if you don't know how long the herbs have been there, if you crush them up, and they still, you smell the container, you crush them up, and they still have a scent, you're still good to go. Rule of thumb. Wait, I just remembered where rule of thumb came from, sorry. Tips for when you have to hide in the broom closet. Get a journal that locks and say it's your diary. You can use that as a grimoire, book of shadows, whatever. Get a keepsake box with a lock and keep that under your bed. You can put the stuff that's harder to disguise in there. If you're going to get crystals and rocks, be sure to get one of this type of book and leave it out next to wherever you have them. Instead of buying the herbs already broken down, buy them in whole like this, because then you can hang them in the room as decoration. Be like, oh, I'm into cottagecore now. Use labeled scented candles instead of spell candles. If you're going to mess with bottle spells, then just grab one of these off Amazon, so that if they see any bottles out or anything, they won't be suspect. Also, if you actually make a bottle spell, you can disguise it by still adding the sand all around it. Just look like an interesting sand bottle.
Why is the statue of Satan still standing?
That's Baphomet, you potato, and he's missing his tits. Welcome to witchfoot.com. Yeah, I really should have figured this out before I started filming. I don't even know. Wait, which way am I? Supposed to be plugged up. What do you mean? Oh. Of course my ring light goes out. I don't remember where was I? Y'all remember me telling you that the majority of what you need is right outside your door? Okay, this is an alleyway in Vermont. You ready? Boom, plantain. Boom, maple. Boom, snake root. Boom, elm. Boom, burdock. Boom, mountain aster. Boom, regular aster. Boom, colt's foot. Boom, dandelion. Boom, knotweed. Boom, eastern nightshade. Right next to it, ragleaf and a baby plantain. Am I going to tell you what they're used for? Nope. But if you're in my class, I highly suggest you find out their correlations for the next lesson. Love, peace, and chicken grease.
Have you ever heard of a dark empath? Well, psychopaths and narcissists are low in empathy, but high in dark traits. Typicals and empaths are high in empathy and low in dark traits. But studies have shown that dark empaths have equivalent amounts of dark traits and empathy. This is a recipe for disaster. They have cognitive empathy, but they are able to turn it off like a switch and destroy that same person that they understood, like for part 2.
Stupid ass mother. Do y'all not understand that therapist is like the elementary school of the science of psychology? You know that therapists are supposed to be unbiased? But this guy, as well as that doctor, whatever the fuck her name is, they are not unbiased at all. This type of biased approach to therapy is so fucked up. It's absolutely wrong. It goes against everything that a person needs to get well. This type of therapy says that only one way is normal. That is absolutely not the way psychology is properly taught. Each person has their normal. You know, stop wasting y'all's times on therapists. Just skip it, okay? If you can't go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist, just skip it. Because these therapists that are coming out over the last 10 years are just an abomination. Here is a dark empath video. A lot of people have asked me about egg cleansings. I do not do egg cleansings because I use negative energy. I do egg readings as a diagnostic tool. So the interpretations of egg readings are a little bit different than egg cleansings. You can do egg cleansings for yourself and your friends and family members, pets, so on. But if it's not a part of your culture, it is highly disrespectful to do these for profit. The YouTube video in the middle there, Mexican Witch Doctor Cleanse, that's the most accurate one that you're going to find. So go look that up. And then Google Tian Tarot egg reading, the first entry. Download that, and it tells you how to read your own egg.
Sour mouth and stressed out, and I'm the best out and en route to be great. Give me my personal space. Like, can I breathe? Shush. Yo, let me do me. Got me like security. Baby, you might get that, but you can get back. Cause I ain't sharing my secrets. They holla, get that, but they can get back. I let them stare from the bleachers. They be like, get that, but you can get back. Cause I ain't sharing my secrets. They holla, get that, but they can get back. Look, I let them stare from the bleachers. Nah, cause you would know what to do with it. Ooh, you would know what to do with it. Move, get back. No, you would know what to do. You would know how to move in it. Get back, cause you would know what to do with it. Ooh, you would know what to do with it. Move, get back. I ain't sharing my secrets.
Y'all have got to stop caring about what people People who are fucking irrelevant to your existence about what those people think and say about you. Even that includes me. What fucking relevance do these people have to your life and what you do? None. What do these people have to do with your future? Nothing. Why are you letting these people affect your mental state in any capacity whatsoever? There is no reason for it. Stop. Realize at the end of the day, honestly, the only person's opinion that matters is yours. That is literally it. Yours. Stop letting other people determine how you're feeling and what your worth is. Did you know that you could specify for things in a shut the fuck up spell? For instance, you can specify that anyone who says one particular thing, that every time they say that thing, bad things will happen to them. Blessed be.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about. And for the longest time, what the fuck is wrong with me? I'm so fucked up.
I've tried to make this video like fucking 5 times and I keep fucking it up. It is a common fantasy, but there's a particular reason how you fix it when you are a victim of. When you've never been, it's just a matter of control or letting go of control. It can go either way. But when you have been, you do it, you want it for another reason besides the control thing. So, energy is the most powerful healing energy the human body can produce. This is one of the first things that I teach in my magic classes. For instance, I can send a healing spell all day long by just myself, and it's going to be hella effective. But if I choose to send that healing spell when I'm having the big O, the person that I'm healing is going to wake up the next morning and be like, this is why you hear about people having, at what Western society considers inappropriate times, such as the first 24 hours after a close death, like a child or a parent or a spouse, after a funeral or at a funeral, in the church, during a fight. Yeah, not even the after makeups. I mean, actually during a fight, where you pick up arguing right after it. Right after something traumatic happens, like y'all get mugged or you barely make it through something that should have killed you. It's not inappropriate. It's healing. So find someone. Join the local, in your area. And do it. It's that simple. First you'll be shocked, you might be scared, you're definitely going to cry, but it won't, the cry will come from like a trauma cry to a relief cry. And you will release so much. I've seen the results many, many, many times over. And it's so freeing after they do that fantasy. Very freeing, very burden lifting. So, I hope that helps.
Cats are good. Half in, half out anyway.
So, here's the thing the cats actually came up to us. They say they domesticated themselves. I wouldn't really call it domesticated. We had a symbiotic relationship. Cats were like, yo, y'all are starting to store grain. That gives me my food source. We about to hang out together. We're going to benefit each other. Not really domesticated, but you get the picture. So they was hanging with us for a hot minute, but it wasn't until the Old Kingdom in Egypt that we started domesticating them on purpose. And yes, I said Old Kingdom. But people automatically think of Bastet when it comes to the Egyptians and the cats. But let me clue you in on something. Bastet originates in the Old Kingdom, like 3 millennium BC. She protected the pharaoh and the dead. Not what they got her as now in the New Kingdom. I don't know where that came from. But that was her original role. She protected the pharaoh and the dead. This came about because they started actually manipulating the genetics in the cats, truly domesticating them. And somehow in that fuckery, we learned, Kiki, half blue, half green eyes, Kiki, that they could be a gateway to the other side. And that familiars would dwell in them. Right, Kiki? You're good, kitty, kitty. Look at me. Half in, half out anyway. Let's talk about incense in witchcraft. Whether it's sticks or cones, ropes or coils, resin sap, or true agar chips. Incense has been with us since before the Egyptians, and its pagan remnants still exist today within the Catholic Church. Whether you're using it to lift your prayers up to heaven, to ward off demons, just because it smells good, or for smell good and Ayurvedic medical reasons, incense has been used for the past 6,000 years. It services in ancient Mesopotamia and India almost simultaneously. My professional opinion is it doesn't really matter which kind that you use. I would, however, I have some links right here, I would look into the most frequently used ancient ingredients. Not from the corner store.